There's no time like the present. Hey, my name is Ray. I want to talk to you today about a theory called social learning theory. So, this theory is one of the theories that are brought up in my sociology of deviance class. So, basically, it was a theory that was put together by an individual named Edwin Sutherland. He came up with this theory due to deviant behavior. So basically, what it says is that deviant behavior is learned through one's interactions with others. So basically, it boils down to a term called deferential association. Deferential association. Basically, it says that if an individual associates themselves with a person and that person put deviant thoughts into their heads, then they're most likely to become deviant. So, with this theory, it's important to recognize that it's not saying that just because you are around people that are deviant, as we know, deviant means not of the norm, not traditional. If you are around these people, it doesn't necessarily means that you're going to be deviant. It just means that if you have more deviant people around you than those who are of conventional means, then you're more likely to become deviant. So, this is a theory that has worked its way around sociologists quite a bit. And the book that we're reading for the class, it actually brings up several different other um, sociologists and their theories that have been built off of Sutherland's theory of, social learning theory of differential association. So one person is named Daniel Glacier, whose theory was differential identification. So this sociologist sought out to look at Sutherland's theory and to better it and to grow it and say, okay, hey, look, so um, you don't become deviant unless you identify with the person or the people who are deviant. Basically, you make them your heroes. So if someone sees somebody who robs banks all the time and they like, hey, that person's cool, I want to be like them, then they're more likely, once they become seen them as a hero, they're more likely to begin to engage in deviant behavior. So basically, the difference between Glacier and Sutherland is Sutherland is just like, hey, you have the thought, you're going to be a deviant person. Glacier is saying, wait, it takes more than that. You have to identify with someone before you can actually become uh, deviant. The next person was two sociologists that worked on a term called deferential reinforcement, also known as the reinforcement theory. Their names was Robert Burgess and Ronald Akers. So basically, this theory was if you were rewarded for the behavior, you will continue the behavior. So if someone was always robbing, stealing, whatever they're doing, selling drugs, that's common, and they were rewarded with the fast money, they never went to jail, they got the people of their dreams, whatever it may be, then they would continue to have those deviant behaviors because they wasn't suffering the consequences. So these theories have been worked over time. A lot of the theories have not. Edward Sutherland's theory has not been able to been tested empirically because there's really nothing to test. It's really, really broad, which was one of the drawbacks that was brought forth from other sociologists. Other sociologists was that it's too broad. But Glacier's theory of the differential identification, it actually was found to hold true within studies. But what was found was that one did not become deviant just because they identified themselves. Well, basically, they didn't identify themselves at the beginning. A person became deviant because a person became deviant after they identified or began the deviant behavior. And then for the reinforcement theory by Burgess and Akers, it actually was not a good theory to explain how the deviant behavior became about, but it was able to explain the after effects. So basically, a person did continue. It was found in studies that a person continued their behaviors of deviancy if they were not caught, or if the rewards were greater to them than the punishment. These theories were tested out on juveniles that were still in high school, and some also looked at criminals, their behaviors, and their outcomes.